can you just talk about a year ago, man? You're checking into JUCO out of 2 years of volleyball, and now you're checking into Tennessee's camp.
Yes, sir. It's been a long road, and a lot of it was, I think, faith and family played a part in just deciding to get here, and just a lot of work as well. Never thought that I would end up here. If you look around, obviously, but when the call came about Tennessee, I was extremely excited, and then I just kind of felt out the recruiting process, and all of a sudden I'm here, and I feel like I got here like 2 days ago, and now we're going into camp, so it's been exciting.
A couple of months in for you now, you've been here for the summer. Do you feel like you measure up as an SEC athlete and SEC guy?
Yes, sir. As much as I can tell so far from the workout and stuff, obviously we haven't put pads on at all. Wish I could have been here in the spring to do that. But yeah, I feel like I measure up, and I wouldn't have come here in the first place as well if the coaches, I made sure they believed in me, and then, if I believe myself, why not? So I feel like I do so far, and then obviously we're going to find out pretty soon here, so I'm excited.
Can you describe how your relationship with this coaching staff started?
Yeah, it started, I guess, in December or so. Coach Elder, it started actually with Coach Cheney. I think he saw my film, and then told a couple of coaches. I think Coach Conklin recruited the West Coast. He came out to see me, and that was really cool because he knew that he probably was going to be there in 2 days, and he said, he was just doing it for me to hopefully put me in contact with the new staff. So that was kind of recruiting in its purest form, I thought. And he and I still, kind of kept a relationship after I committed. And then from there, Coach Elder called my coach, and then Coach Elder and I started talking, and then eventually we met, and then from there went kind of with the offer and the visit and the rest of the recruiting.
What's it like to suddenly be in the middle of all this? It's kind of big time all of a sudden.
It's I wouldn't say nerve-wracking at all. It's just new, and it's flattering but at the same time humbling, and that I know that it's fun, kind of cool, and this is Tennessee, but I still haven't done anything, and getting here was a small part of my goal, but my dream is to do really well here and go beyond here as well. So,
what's your perception of the tight end in this offense?
I think when I was getting recruited, talking to Coach Elder and seeing Travis Kelce on film from last year, I think that's the full tight end role, and I think it's been building since the spring. I think it can be as big as the tight end kind of plays, from what I've seen with Kelce, and then also the stuff we haven't already for the tight ends we have here. I think it can be as big as you want your role to be as far as how you play.
And what are your strengths and weaknesses, you think, right now as a tight end?
I think I've got pretty good hands as far as just natural catching the ball, so I think receiving may be a strength. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to label myself as a receiving tight end or a blocking tight end. I think there are things that I can work on across the board, and that's going to be big for me. That's been big for me since I got here, as far as getting with the quarterbacks and throwing extra, looking at film extra, doing that kind of stuff. And then it'll be big for me going to camp, just trying to build on every part of my game, whether it's the smallest to the biggest part, every day.
Woody, what has Coach said about your role just starting out of practice and maybe showing what you can get accomplished starting tomorrow?
Not much, and I think that may be kind of the same with a lot of guys, but I'm just looking to build my role in whatever way possible to help the team, whether it's whatever facet of the game it is, and that's how it is with every guy on our team as well, is just trying to make their role as big as possible in order to win and help the team in whatever way possible that is. So.
What about your role in the tight end's role in his offense, though?
Like I said a little bit, I think that it can be as big as the tight end plays, and so if we as a group of tight ends go out and play really well, then I think they're gonna. And what I've seen with Kelce and stuff, and what Coach Elder and I talked about, is they're going to make that role as big as it needs to be, as far as because we want to win games. So if we're helping win and do well in practice, etc., then we're going to probably get a little bigger role. But with all of us, it's just trying to go out there every day and help the team win in any way possible, whatever it is.
How much is there maybe hesitation in your mind not to get too amped up for tomorrow and not do it all on day one?
Yeah, no, I'm amped and excited and I guess a little anxious, just natural nerves. But it's 3 weeks or something. So it's going to be a long road. So I'm not at all thinking getting excited for day one. I mean, I'm excited, but it's not like I got to go out and make this catch or do this. I'm going to go out every day with that attitude, but it's not make or break day one. For me, and I think for a lot of the guys, it's a building process. That's what's been with the team, with Coach Jones. It's a building process, brick by brick, as he's been saying, to kind of get to the top. And we're just going every day to work. So it's just a work day tomorrow. Do what we got to do, and just try to get better.
Woody, how much did you play football before you started last year at JUCO?
I played 1 year in 2006, my freshman year, my JV year at St. Margaret's, and I loved it. And then kind of started playing volleyball for different reasons. I got hurt, and so started playing volleyball. But yeah, then after that, I think it had been 5 years since then, when I started playing JUCO ball last year. And just kind of took a leap, I guess.
What kind of got you? What kind of did you wake up one morning and say, "Hey, I want to play
No.
football"?
It was a long junior, senior year of high school. I was on the phone with the coaches, the football coaches, all beginning of the summer about, come out, we'd love you to play, and I was itching to play, but I kind of had this volleyball thing going, and I didn't want to mess it up. And then freshman, sophomore year playing volleyball, it was like that as well. It was hard for me to watch football. Thinking, I wish I could do that, or I think I could do that. And so my dad and I talked when we were paying tuition first semester my sophomore year, and he said, hey, you don't have to come back next semester, you can go play football, I know you want to. Decided to stay and finish my volleyball season with the team there, but then kind of took a leap there, and so it was like constant as far as me wanting to go back and play.
I'm sure you get this a lot, but how can playing volleyball for the number of years that you play help you when you get out there and in the SEC?
I think what a lot of people point to me, they're like leaping ability, that kind of stuff. I don't know if that's, I think it's a little exaggerated, but I think just general, volleyball's a pretty quick game as far as hand-eye quickness, and I don't know if that's really, I haven't thought about as, what for my volleyball. I don't really think about the question much as far as what will help my football game. But I guess just general, athletic ability from that. Maybe you could transfer over. There's some quick feet stuff in there, and some quick hand stuff. So hopefully that'll help a bit. But yeah, I really haven't thought about it too much.
What were your expectations when you started playing football again? Were you thinking it was possible you could become a D1 player?
My goal from the beginning when I transferred to JUCO, because I was leaving behind a kind of a volleyball scholarship, and I guess a career more or less that I'd kind of built to that point. My goal from the beginning was to play somewhere in college. I didn't want to go to a JUCO and, the worst case scenario was not getting picked up, but then I knew I had good enough grades where I could transfer to, some school or maybe even play volleyball again. But my goal from the beginning was to play D1, and that's what the junior college coach, Coach Jones at Santa Ana, he believed in me a lot, and we established that, the goal of goals was D1, and then we'll see where the cards fall. And so that was kind of what I had in mind starting.
What was the adjustment back to football like last year as far as shedding the rust and getting used to the physicality again?
The biggest adjustment was my spring semester when I was still playing volleyball at Cal Baptist. I started lifting kind of football-wise, like after games at night or something like that, just kind of, and so I ended up putting on about like 45 pounds in 5 months or something. So that was a big adjustment as far as just working hard for that. And then on the field wise, the physicality, and that's what I didn't like about volleyball is there's no physicality really. And so I wouldn't say it wasn't a huge adjustment, but it was, like once I got the pads on for that first practice at Santa Ana, when we went to camp, and got a couple hits, or the biggest part was getting my first hit in the game after a catch. After that, it was like, I felt like I'd been playing since, freshman year of high school almost.
So you played volleyball about 220 or so?
I played volleyball at about, 215, 220, and then by the time I was at Santa Ana, by the season start, I was 255 or 260, so.
Two more guys.
What do you, in terms of you talk about making this adjustment and all that, but when did you really kind of feel like you had it back? Like, okay, this wasn't a bad idea.
As far, I think there was a little notion of, this is a big jump. Is it going to pay off? I guess was a little. You try to kick those thoughts out of your head at all because you got to just go with what you decided. But when Coach Jones sitting and named the kind of the starting, like the depth chart, I guess, and I realized that I'd have a big part in the offense. I was pretty excited about that. And then, as far as kind of getting the wiggles out, I think like the first play of our first game, he called a play to me, that could have gone to me, and I caught it, and then
Big play or little play?
it was like a 10, 12-yard catch or something. I don't know. And then, but I turned and got hit right away almost in the corner. Thought he was going to light me up. And that was the only time I got hit high all season. And then I kind of didn't go down, fought a little bit. And after that, it was like, all right, like I'm ready to go. This is going to be good.
I know the coaches have already moved Justin back over to the defensive side of the ball to
Yes, sir.
linebacker. And I know that maybe it had nothing to do with it, but do you think that maybe you and Aaron and a couple of the new guys have shown some things that, hey, they have the comfort to do that?
I don't think so at all, really. I haven't really looked into it, like thought about it much anyway. It was surprised. I didn't even know, actually. I think it was maybe a week or so into when I got here, when me and AJ got here, and we realized, King's not a tight end anymore. And I was kind of surprised because when I had been out here in the spring, he made some good catches, things like that. But no, I haven't thought about it too much at all. The coaches have their reasons, I guess, and obviously it's just they think he's going to help the team more at linebacker, and I think he may, or so yeah. But I don't think us as players really thought about it much at all. We all know that and trust, as far as buying into the coaches, that every move they make, you just got to trust it and know that it's going to help the team. So.